fishing now.
Hey everyone, Dan at Bushcraft, and I am out here with Casey from Coyote Works.
Hey guys, don't mind me, I'm just making lunch here.
Can you believe that? He came all the way out in the woods just to make me lunch. Actually guys, we are out here on an exploration adventure today. We have been roaming the countryside looking for old mining operations, which we found some very cool ones. And now we're looking for an old, I'm assuming, was it a miner's cabin, Casey? Probably?
I don't know what it was. I would guess that because of all the mining in this area that it was a miner's cabin, but I'm not 100% sure.
Right, so we've found the mines, and we're going back 45 years, at least for me. I haven't been up in this specific area for 45 years, but there is an old mining cabin out here somewhere, and we're gonna go check it out. Like I said, we've been out here for hours now, so we're actually gonna do some brunch, I guess. We got biscuits, gravy, eggs, sausage, potatoes, 2 different meals, as you saw. We're gonna mix it all together, fill up our stomachs, and then take you guys with us as we take off up hiking around the hillside. Let me show you what I got here. So we're gonna cross that creek, and we're gonna scour that hillside, and somewhere up in there is an old cabin, and we're gonna see if we can find it. All right, everyone, thanks to Chef Casey, we've got our Mountain House breakfast, biscuits, gravy. What was the other one? It was like a scrambled egg?
Breakfast skillet.
Breakfast skillet, scrambled eggs, potatoes. All right, mix it all together here. That's delicious. If you guys are out here in the Ocho's, you'll have to look Casey up and see if he'll cook lunch for you. Anyway,
I'm a Mountain House master.
The Mountain House master, there you go. So we're gonna have this meal, and then we're gonna head up that hillside that I showed you guys, and just basically do a little grid search. We have a pretty good idea of where it should be, and see what we can find. All right, we have finished our breakfast lunch, and like I said, we're going to be heading up this hill, and I'm just going to take you guys on part of the journey. I don't know how long it's going to take, so obviously I'm not going to make you endure hours if that's how long it takes. Actually, at this point, we've only got a couple hours of daylight left, so if we don't, if we aren't able to find it before dark, then we're going to have no choice but to get out of here, because we don't want to be wandering around in the trees, even with our headlamps way up here. So Casey's going to be along in a second, and I'm going to let him take point. And let's go down here and show you guys what we're heading into, because, you know, these old cabins out here in the Ocho's, and they're all over. There are numerous old cabins, but they get lost to time, and then they're no longer on the Forest Service maps. And unless you can find an old map, which Casey's really good at finding old maps. That's how he found this one. And 45 years ago, I mentioned, my half-sister and her husband had a gold mining claim up here where they panned for gold on this little creek we're about to cross. And so I believe they knew where it was, but 45 years, I have no idea, and no one's alive to ask. So I'm going to let Casey get up here and take point, guys. Here he comes along behind me, and go from there. So this little stream that we're about to cross actually has a few decent sized holes in it. And you see down there where it widens out, and that is where my brother-in-law panned for gold and 45 years ago and made a little bit of a living up here. And Casey, you're going to cross and take point, and I will just follow along behind you. That way, if he falls into an old mine or something, guys, I'll know it's time for me to go home. Just kidding. I'd rescue him. All right. I'm going to pause you guys. I got to climb over a log here. Okay, I just had to climb across a log, and I didn't want you guys seeing me wobbling everywhere. But see, Casey's up in front of me here. Oh, I don't know what they are, guys. One thing I will tell you is I am not real knowledgeable about different kinds of mushrooms and toadstools and things. But there are some out here that are absolutely monstrous. I'll see if I can get some on camera. Casey, if you see any of those giant mushrooms, let me know, would you? All right, guys. Wow. It is rough terrain back in here. Beautiful, beautiful country, but okay. Casey just yelled back that he found one of those giant mushrooms. Maybe you guys know what they are. If you know what they are, put it in the description and let me know, because I just don't know. I don't touch any of them, but if they're poisonous, here's one back here I'll get to.
This one, a really good one. I'll put my foot next to it.
Okay.
So you can see a size comparison.
Oh, wow. So look at this compared to Casey's foot. Look at the size of that. That is a mushroom or toadstool. I don't know which, but wow. Yeah, guys, let me know if you let me know what that is if you know, and I would guess it's probably something poisonous, but I would like to know. Curiosity. All right, I'm going to pause you guys for a bit. We got a lot of walking ahead of us. This is some rough terrain that we're walking through. Oh, it's not getting any easier up here.
It looks like we might be about to break out into that meadow.
Okay.
So we're coming up on the edge of this meadow, and that cabin should be somewhere right in, maybe in the edge of the trees, somewhere right in here by this meadow. Of course, the meadow's probably smaller now than it was back then because more of these trees will have grown through. So we'll see what we can find out here.
Okay, if you guys heard that, we're coming out on a meadow finally. Good, because I'm tired of climbing over logs. And somewhere along the edge of this meadow is going to be the remains of some kind of an old cabin. So there you guys can see through the trees. I'm gonna have to find a way through these branches here. So let me pause you guys. Okay. Oh yeah. All right, here we go. Show you guys what we got. So these old mines that we've been finding. There's a cabin up here, and I'm assuming since it's on the old mines, it's probably the miner's cabin. So somewhere along this tree line.
And we came out pretty high in the meadow. So I think according to my old map mark, the cabin should be somewhere down in here. But we just need to look for boards, logs with cut ends on them or axe cut ends. Any kind of sign that we can find.
Gotcha. All right. So if you guys watching this video see anything that Casey described before I do, please let me know.
Okay, look at this. This might be a clue right here. See, this is a really old log.
Okay.
And it was cut with a saw.
Okay.
So
a handsaw?
Some kind of a saw. It could have been like a buck saw or a crosscut.
All right. So we're just skirting the meadow, guys. I'm gonna let you look at me for a minute here. We're just skirting along that meadow, and I'll flip you guys around here in a second and seeing if we can see any sign of where that cabin might have been. Oh, sorry guys for that. Not watching my feet. Hang on, Casey?
Yeah.
Right down here in front. Hang on just a second. Let me.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a depression down there, huh?
Well, I see what, I don't know if it's going to show up on my camera. I see what looks like two long straight lines on the ground, like it could be part of a floor or some walls.
Okay.
Let's just go down here and see what we got. See if you guys can see that. If I get closer, maybe you can see what I'm looking at. And that's what we look for when we're out here too, is I look for unnatural shapes. So there shouldn't be two perfectly long straight lines, flat lines laying on the ground side by side.
Yeah, I see some cut. I see some cut edges too.
Oh wow. Oh wow. I'm gonna go around this side. Look at that. That's it. We found it, guys. Look at that. I'm gonna come around these trees in just a second, and you guys are gonna see. Look at that. Somebody was living here. Just think of that. How many years ago, Casey? We're talking 75 to 100 years, maybe?
Yeah, probably very close to 100 years now.
Casey's saying close to 100 years.
Some of these logs were cut with an axe.
Wow.
With an axe.
You're saying, look at that. Okay. Look at that. Look at the old cutout right here where the cabin was pieced together. And there's another one right there.
Here's some of the old roofing shakes still attached to that.
Here we go.
Yeah, so there's even some of the old roofing shakes that they split out of local fir trees out here.
Oh, wow.
To shake the roof. The door is right behind me. The front door was right behind me looking out onto the meadow. And it's dug out in here. So what they did was to save energy and resources to cut down on the number of logs that they had to cut to make the walls higher. They dug out the ground so that they didn't have to make the outside walls as high to still have headroom inside.
That's cool. And so these right here, this is part of the roof then right here?
Yeah.
In fact, I just stepped through part of the roof.
Yep.
So those guys are, what Casey was talking about, these are part of the roofing shingles right here. Wow, very cool.
Yeah, and this, that goes down quite a ways underneath us too.
So this was all dug out, the floor. And where was the door? The door was facing the meadow?
Right here.
Casey's gonna show me where that door was.
And it's gonna be a little hard for you to show on the camera, but there's boards right here with the ends cut. So I'm thinking the door was right there.
Okay. So we had a doorway that was facing that that big meadow that's behind you, and that makes a lot of sense. Coming out the front door and seeing the meadow, or if you had a deer or an elk outside the door. That's cool. Let me get out of here, guys, and turn around. All right, here's the other side looking in. That was actually a good sized cabin, really. I've found some miners' cabins out here that were very, very tiny. It was just room enough for like a little tiny cot, a little table, and a stove, and that was it. This thing, so the wall goes back into those trees. This is a big cabin. So obviously, since this was a whole mining operation, and I'm saying miners' cabin, it's probably miners plural. There was probably a team of people staying out here in this cabin. All right. That is cool, guys. We found what we came to see, and as you can tell, we're losing daylight, but I got something that's caught my eye over here, and I want to walk over and take a look and see what this is. All right, guys, so the cabin is right here to my right, and there's that meadow, and right here, hey Casey, I got some kind of a pit over here. So this is really interesting. So the cabin's right here. I'm maybe just a little over 10 yards to the left of the cabin. And there is a big pit going down here. Actually, I'll walk down in this and check this out. This thing's about 10 feet wide and 20 feet long. What do you think this was? Like maybe a root cellar or something?
Could have been, yeah. Board right here.
Oh. So, yeah, flat board from the cabin or from whatever was here.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, big old pit here at one time. Probably before everything started falling into it, it was probably at least 10 feet deep. It's almost that now. In fact, Casey's going to go down into it so I can show you. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I know for you guys, it seems like only a few minutes, but for us, we're down to like only an hour and a half of daylight left, guys. So we put in pretty much full day looking for stuff out here, and it was cool. I really enjoyed finding that cabin. Thanks for going with me and helping me rediscover it.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, Dan at Ochco Bushcraft, and one of the things we do here in Ochco, as a lot of people do, is you just get out and look for the old cabins. There's mining cabins, trappers cabins, mining operations. Casey may do a little more filming before the day is over. So even if he doesn't, be sure and check out his channel because he's got a ton of videos on mines and cabins and all kinds of things that he's found out here. So anyway, Dan at Ochco Bushcraft.
Casey, Coyote Works.
Take care, everyone, and get out and enjoy yourself if you can.